From unexpected changes to unforeseen challenges, there is much in life we learn that we aren't in control of. For an active military person, this may be the timing of a permanent change of station. For a person who is not a member of the armed forces, it may be a job transfer or an unplanned family crisis that requires your immediate and constant presence for an undetermined length of time. Your preference, other than maybe these things not happening, would be that they happen during a time of year when the daily weather forecast didn't show a potential of rain and snow. Hi, I'm Mike Doggett from Windermere Real Estate, Citigroup. In this short video, I am going to discuss the challenges and the benefits of placing your home on the market during the fall and winter months. And besides saying the following, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, I'll give you some ideas on things you can do and things you should do to be prepared. One of my most memorable experiences as a child was my family's move to New Jersey during the winter due to my father's PCS to a different naval station. I remember the long road trip with our small 16-foot trailer from Whidbey Island and waking up on our first day of arrival in New York to so much snow that we could not leave the trailer. And meals had to be delivered to us. I am sure that my parents would have chosen a warmer time of year to do this, but they had no control of this timing. I will first go over the benefit of placing your home on the market during winter months. Generally, Spokane County sees the highest real estate activity during the spring and summer months, accounting for 60 to 70% of the annual sales. The fall and winter months, especially November to February, accounts for the remaining 30 to 40%. The sellers who don't have to move and who have control of their current life circumstances will oftentimes decide to either not put their house on the market during these less than optimal times, or they will often take their homes off the market during these times if the house is not sold. The buyers who don't have to buy right now and who have control over their current life circumstances will often wait until the spring, when there are more houses to look at before changing their current living situation. So, are there any benefits? And if so, what are the benefits to listing during this time? For both buyers and sellers, there will be less competition. I have found that the buyers that are shopping when there's snow on the ground are serious buyers, which, for a seller, is really what you want, regardless of what time of year it is. As a seller, you will not be competing against as many other listings, and buyers are less likely to get into bidding wars and multiple offer situations. Now, let's go over some details a seller should do and details that a buyer should be prepared for. These may seem to be pretty obvious, but when faced with a move, it is often the obvious things that are forgotten. For sellers, a buyer is more likely to spend more time inside of the house during inclement weather. So a thorough deep clean, decluttering, and staging is especially important when listing during this time of the year. Keep the thermostat at a comfortable level, even if the house is vacant. I have shown many houses where the temperature had been turned down to minimum and the buyer just wanted to get back out to their car where there was heat. Keep a couple of lights on and replace any bulbs that are not working. One of the first things I will do when showing a house, especially in the wintertime, is go around and turn on lights so that a buyer can focus on the features of the house. An outside light is very important when there are so few daylight hours, especially when trying to access the lockbox and navigating through the entryway. Clear any snow or ice that is accumulated on the walkway or driveway and leave ice melt nearby if the snow is predicted to fall throughout the day. If the house is vacant, it will be very important to make arrangements to have the snow or ice cleared frequently. I listed a vacant house in a neighborhood where it had snowed the night before, and the driveway had been completely blocked by a snowplow hired by the association. I found this out when I showed up to do an open house and had to climb over a 3-foot snow berm. Needless to say, we didn't have any attendees that day. Something else to do. Have booties available for buyers who may not be able to easily remove their shoes. I will provide a basket of Booties at all my listings, especially during the wet weather seasons. Probably the most difficult thing to do, or not to do, especially if you really like decorating your home for the season, is minimize your holiday decorations. I have had a buyer who commented that the house was so beautifully decorated for Christmas and they wanted to wait and come back after the decorations were down. Now, a quick note for buyers. Come prepared. The preceding list for sellers was made from personal experience, not from a how-to list for showing houses. So buyers, dress as if the house or houses we are going to will be as cold as it is outside. Wear shoes that are appropriate for the weather, but fairly easy to remove, or would accept a boot sock if necessary. I had one buyer whose boots were so furry and thick that the boot sock would not slide on, and the boots were a pain to put on and take off. I will usually have a flashlight, but I would recommend that you have one as well. Our cell phones have lights on them, but I have found they are usually not adequate enough to light up the area we are looking at. And finally, for buyers and sellers, expect that there will be delays. I hope you have found this information useful. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and if you have any additional questions about real estate or the home buying or selling process, you can comment below or contact me directly. I'd be honored to help guide you through the real estate process. Please share this with anyone you know who may be considering a move to our beautiful Spokane County area. Once again, thanks for taking the time, and we'll talk to you soon.